Paying attention to the specific words that authors have chosen to use in their texts is one strategy that literary critics use. Focusing on specific words is one way that critics move past the surface level of texts to deeper layers of analysis. This is an overview of the section of Chapter 5 in Joanna Wolfe and Laura Wilder's Digging into Literature that addresses specific words. So, how do you determine which words you're going to focus on? The most obvious strategy is just to notice words in the text that you don't understand. And for those, you should use the Oxford English Dictionary to look them up. By the way, if you just use Google, you're being lazy, and most of the time you'll get the wrong definition. One that tells you what the word means today, but not what it meant when your text was written. For more details on this and on how to navigate the OED's interface, see my quite opinionated and eminently correct blog post at this URL. Every word has multiple meanings. Some of them are captured in the dictionary, and some are just in the way we use them. Denotative meanings are like insects in the Natural History Museum. In this simile, the museum means the dictionary. Connotative meanings are like the cousins of those insects out in the rainforest. Denotative meanings are the most direct, literal meanings of a word, and they are what the Oxford English Dictionary will give you. Words often have multiple denotative meanings that we're unaware of when we read them, and so much of what makes literary texts compelling, especially poetry, is the interplay of those multiple denotative meanings. It's the same with connotative meanings, which are the emotional and cultural meanings of words. The reason that a word has different associations in different cultures, and particularly in different times, is because of its shifting connotations. Wolfe and Wilder's example is the difference between ghost and spirit. Another example might be house and home. Both sets of words refer to the same entity or object, but you can choose one or the other to emphasize their different features. Descriptions of people, places, and things are typically where an author takes liberties in choosing words that carry certain connotations. They are one of the more explicit moments when you recognize that an author has chosen these words rather than some other words, and that those choices have ramifications. Now, one of the areas that Wolfe and Wilder could have spent more time talking about is repetitions. Particularly in poetry, repetitions of words and their synonyms, and repetitions of patterns to make parallel structures are often very meaningful. Remember, the author has chosen to use this word rather than another. The author is spoiled for choice, and yet they opt to repeat words they've already chosen. That is a sign that they intend for us to notice them. And even if they don't, they're giving the word a new context with new meaningful dimensions. As Wolfe and Wilder write, one of the key values of literary analysis consists of finding larger meanings in small details. And so, in conclusion, specific words are a very rich source of meaning. Focus on them and you take a giant leap from an ordinary reader to a literary critic.